The Jeffersons. If you've never seen it, go check it out. Great show. So, welcome back to another fun episode of Connect and Chill. I'm Elle, and today I'm super happy to be here with my co host, Ness. How is everyone feeling today? Hope you could drop some emojis. Let me know you're here, you're alive, you're excited for the day. Before we delve into today's discussion, I do want to set the stage a bit for what's to come. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us know, moving. Whether you've moved before, you're thinking about moving, or whatever your situation might be, we're super excited to share what your stories are. This is something we all experience at some point in our lives as part of our journey, and we're always stronger together. So, in this space, we love to work as a roundtable discussion where you can request the mic, throw your hand up, and get involved in the conversation. For those of you that are unable to talk, you can just drop your comments or questions down below. Just hit that purple comment box in the corner, and we will be attentive, making sure to address your comments. And now, this isn't just another conversation, it's also a safe space for us to explore, understand, and share our experiences, even if they include some complex emotions. So I want you to know that we are here to connect, support, and uplift each other in a very positive way. Your voice matters, and together, we're going to have a great time today. So if you haven't already, please like, repost, drop a comment, and we're going to get started. So Ness, how are you today? Happy Saturday.
Grand Rising, everyone. Yes, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Helped Banana out earlier with her space. Very good space. I was mad that it only ran for an hour. That is one of those spaces that which should have been like 2, 3 hours long. But wow, it was, I mean, like I learned a new term, which was pretty cool because I mean, like I'm used to like certain other terms and whatnot when it comes to social engineering, but that's a different subject for a different day. And yeah, we will definitely discuss that another time. But no, today's a beautiful day. If you haven't already done so, grab your coffee, grab your water, make sure that you get those stretches in, and shake off the heebie-jeebies off you because you are in a safe space, like Elle said. So please feel free to drop a comment if you can't come up. But if you can come up to join the discussion, please feel free to hit that request button. We'll bring you up. We'll bring you up. I will be in the comments most of the time. So yeah, just to like get some answers in there and whatnot. If you do have questions, comments, or concerns, uh, just drop them down there. I'll be down there in the chat, just talking with you guys. And no, just taking in your input and insight. And if I like something, I will pin it up. I will pin it up, just so you guys know. But if I don't like it, I'm not pinning it. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know in advance. And I saw, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd our sponsorship go? Like, what the hell? All right, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Elma, pass it back to you because I am going to do some other things as well. But I'm here for support and love. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I know you had a busy morning already doing one space, so we're happy to have you here. And I'm happy that we already have two awesome speakers. Creative, good morning, friend. How are you?
Good morning, man. You know I can't miss these spaces in the morning, so I definitely had to come in, support, show some love. I love the Jefferson song. I love it, man. It really took me back to when I was a kid. So I'm not gonna try to date myself, even though I already did. But that's a fabulous classic song. It fits with the topic. I love it. So I'm just chilling, man. Just ready to engage in this conversation, hang out with some beautiful people, and at the same time multitask and be on daily duties at the same time. So let's go.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. It's always great to have you in the room. I saw you throwing up some emojis during the song, so I'm like, yes, I know someone's appreciating it. Oh, Ben's here. Yes, you made it. What's up, Ben?
Hey, Elle and S, thanks for having me up. I'm probably just going to listen for today. I have some things kind of having to deal with, but I want to show my support to you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Um, and then, Elle, I cannot leave without saying this real quickly. Um, who loves to connect and chill? Ben loves to connect and chill. Is that true? I do, I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. Ooh! And with that, actually, no, we do have some official sponsors for you, Elle. We are officially sponsored by Amtrak. Once again, Amtrak is a proud sponsor of this space. The phone number to Amtrak is 1-800-872-7245. That's 1-800-872-7245. You can use Amtrak to go between LA and Chicago, Chicago and Denver, Denver to Seattle, Seattle to Houston, Houston to New York City, New York City to Buffalo, Buffalo to Boston. You can definitely use Amtrak for that. Folks, we're officially sponsored by the Buffalo Bills, the New York Yankees, the LA Lakers, and then we are now officially sponsored by Geico 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. We are now officially sponsored by Justin Bieber as well. JB, thanks so much for sponsoring us. And thanks so much for sponsoring L Spaces and Connect and Chill. But L, I'm gonna do this one more time because I don't know how much time I have. Who loves to connect and chill? We all love to connect and chill. Is that true? We do, we do, we do, we do, we do. And with that, I'm gonna hand this back to you.
We couldn't do this space without that. So thank you for making sure you added that in. You brought our sponsorships. I hope you have a great day with whatever you're planning. And if at any point you do want to speak, of course, you are more than welcome to just hop in the conversation. Love having you here and hope you have a great Saturday morning on the West Coast. And now we do have another speaker up here with us, Harley. Good morning, Queen. How are you?
Hey, Al, finally, I'm early here. I made it. Well, how am I? I'm multitasking as well, working and while here. And maybe I've been burned out with all of those crypto talk spaces. That's why when I saw the spaces, oh my God, I was so excited to come. Finally, something new. Finally, a fresh one. Finally, not a crypto free one, but yeah, I love to be here, Al. Thank you for having this. I know that you have so many things to do, but having the space is really a struggle for me now. So thank you for hosting this one.
Absolutely. Thank you for your kind words. I'm happy that you made it. It's funny. Someone had asked me if I would do a crypto space, like an intro to crypto, and I did a poll recently, and I was so happy everyone voted for wellness because there are just so many crypto spaces from morning to night. I think even Ness commented that. But I did want to just, take a poll, be fair. If someone is really interested in it, we will do it. But I love what we're doing here on Saturday mornings, just chill space. I'm not going to try to shill anything here. Just unless you're talking about your project or something that you're passionate about, don't really want to hear it. We're here to uplift each other. And, we're a lot of us are degens, right? And Monday to Friday, we're after the charts or we're after the next NFT or we're minting. So, this is like a second for you guys to just get a reprieve and do something a little different. Why am I getting the thumbs down,
No, no, no.
Ness?
I'm done with the whole NFT crypto space. Yeah, I'm just doing streaming and enjoying life, and I love the wellness. This is why I voted for wellness because this is what we need. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people they don't understand what the term degenerate really means, but that's a different topic for a different day. But I want to get to this legend right here. Besides my beautiful sister down there, we know you had this big move, sis. We love you. We support you. You know that, OAJ. But we're gonna get to my boy Creative over here. How you doing, man? How you doing, fam? How is everything?
Oh man, everything's going great, man. I can't complain. I can't complain. Just looking at this topic as far as just moving and things of that nature. Being in the military, I moved all kind of places physically. I've lived everywhere from the West Coast to the East Coast to Dirty South. So I'm looking forward, man, to everybody talking about moving, moving on up, and that could be, it doesn't have to be physical. What I mean, you could talk about just moving on up and in life, just in general. So for me, moving on up, I know Nash, you like the mental stuff, what I mean, the mental wellness. So mentally, just moving on up and being healthier and being in a better headspace and things of that nature. So I'm all for that stuff too as well. So I'm glad, brother, that you're a champion for that. As far as moving too, I'm thinking of, I was thinking of creating a whole nother little space that I might do on the side. But now I gotta, due to some of my beautiful friends hosting spaces at certain times, I gotta move some stuff around. So that's another movement I gotta look into to kind of move around and do those kind of things, man. But so moving, no matter how you move, sometimes there's always little difficulties to it, and there's challenges to it, and there's some kind of hesitations to it, because when you move, that means you're going to a place most of the times you've never been, right? And us as human beings, we always have reservations when we go into the unknown, and when we move into a place that we are not really too familiar with, whether it's physically, mentally, career-wise. Like at my job, they moved me into to work on another project, and I don't know nothing about none of this stuff. But I love challenges like that, so I always welcome that kind of stuff, right? Not everybody's that has that same mentality when they're going into and when they're moving in a certain direction. But me, I try to just lean on God, man, and just let God, guide me and know that He's with me, so that whatever I do, I'm gonna be successful. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I approach things. But I'm looking forward to hearing everybody else's journeys, where they're moving to, what they're working on, things of that nature, man. Because I get excited hearing about other people's, um, stories.
Wow, creative. It sounds like you have really been around. That is awesome. I haven't moved
I'm
anywhere
old,
else.
L. I'm old.
Well, there's some people that just kind of stay, they act like a tree and they live where they live forever and don't experience anything. So I'm happy that you probably have a ton of stories. You've been on this journey. That is really cool. For me, I haven't left New York. I've traveled to different places in New York. I'm from the Bronx, and then I spent a lot of time outside of Buffalo, and then now I'm back near the Bronx on Long Island. So I have moved plenty of times, and moving is a lot of work. Um, you can try and plan for it, but things always pop up. So it is important to brace yourself and take breaks when you need them. I don't know about Ness too much. I know Ness is in New York now, but what's your journey? Have you been all around? Have you been to other states?
I have been around this world for many, many, many moons. I went from, hold on. Okay, so I went from here to Japan when I was 10. I lived in Kyoto with my uncles and aunts out there. I then left there to come back stateside um, to live in various other areas like Florida, Maine, Texas for like a couple of months because I can't do the heat. Not a fan. Um, Lived in Arizona for a little while. Pretty cool out there. If you haven't been to Arizona, it's pretty neat out there. Then I went traveling around the world again. Went to Italy, went to France, lived in Paris. Yes, I miss it, but I also hate it. I've also been to. Let me bring back up Benjamin. Okay, there we go. I've also been to so many other places. Just so many places that my brain can't remember all of it, but I enjoyed the journey. But right now, I am making moves mentally because if hopefully next year I'm off parole, uh, yeah, passports will be tatted again. That's right. We're not staying in New York because no, we gotta leave. I gotta leave New York. I gotta leave the U.S. I can't do this no more. Yeah, yeah. Especially when we don't have. Well, no, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. Not gonna get into it. But I will say that I just want to re-enjoy the journey again and be able to visit a lot of places. Creative actually touched up on something earlier, which resonates with me very deeply, especially when you're traveling to new places. Me, like when I visit a place, I'm not looking to go anywhere near the tourist sites or where everybody else likes to be at. Me, I'm in the slums, chilling with everybody else that's around there because those people have their little community, and you get to understand what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? So those are the people I resonate with. Yeah, I will sleep out in the streets if I have to. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a tent and a sleeping bag, so I'm happy. But but all jokes aside, I mean, like, it's all about the adventure. You know what I'm saying? So, and not the destination. So if you are an adventurous person, like somebody I know named OAJ, yeah, just take that journey, enjoy it, and just don't take life for granted. Enjoy those fine, beautiful moments that you get to have with your family while you're traveling. Take lots of pictures. Seriously, take lots of pictures because those memories will last a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Those memories do last a lifetime. So yeah, creative. You have your hand up. Go ahead, buddy.
Yo, so you guys said some stuff, so I just had to raise my hand because you guys sparked some thoughts in my mind, right? So, me, I'm the kind of person, if I don't say it right in the moment, sometimes I forget. So, but L, you talked about New York and stuff like that. I just remembered that me and Intricate One will be making a trip in July out to New York City. So, just to put that out there, everybody that's in New York, maybe we could connect and chill in person, maybe grab a coffee or a bite to eat or something like that. Um, New York, my first trip in New York was the craziest because I used to be stationed in Maryland and I was at Fort Meade. So I would drive up to New York. The first time I ever drove up to New York was the biggest lesson learned in my life. It was like $100 in tolls trying to get up there because getting into the New York tunnel is just like $20, $30. And I was like, holy crap. Then driving, me, I'm from California originally. So I didn't know driving in New York was going to be that bad. So that was another mistake. Everywhere you move is $50. Every time you move your vehicle is $50, $50. Then I wore white shoes in New York City in Times Square. Don't ever wear white shoes in New York City, please. They'll come back soot gray, from all the exhaust and stuff like that. Um, as far as you, Ness, you say you don't like the heat, so you left Texas, but then you champion for Arizona, which is hot as hell. Arizona, Arizona's so hot. When I first visited Arizona, I jumped in the pool to cool off, and it felt like a big ass hot tub. And then when I went to go get a drink of water out the water fountain that was right next to the dang swimming pool, it damn near burned my mouth. It was like boiling water. I could have made tea. So But for me, just my journey as far as where I've lived in the Bay, I lived in LA, then I lived in Houston for about 7 years, then joined the military. Then I was in like Pensacola, Florida, which they call Lower Alabama. So I guess you could say I was in Florida and Alabama at the same time. Then I lived in Maryland. I lived um, shoot, man. And then you said Japan too, so that resonates with me too because I'm part Japanese, and my grandmother's from Sendai, Japan. So I've been to Japan for a couple of months. That was great. But yeah, man, I just had to talk about that. I just had to put it out there that me and Intricate won New York City, July. So we'll keep you updated.
Oh, okay, okay. I got a rebuttal for that. No, I was actually towards like the southeast of Arizona, where it's a little cooler, not that much cooler, but a little cooler. No, no, no. There's actually some pockets where it's actually not as bad the heat. Um, in Arizona, you just have to find them. San Antonio, I mean, anywhere in there, like no, not I'm thinking Texas, but I just think about Texas. What the hell? I forget. But before I continue, hold on. I got to do this right. Yep. OAJ, my sister from another mister. Yes, this queen has been doing a great deal of moving as of late. She left one area to move to another, and now she has beautiful chicks who I'm going to put the pics in the Jumbotron, but I wanted to get my sister's permission first before I do that because these beautiful little chicks are so just adorable. I was like, wanted to eat them, but I'm like, no, they're family. They're adorable. They're freaking beautiful. I love them. OAJ, take the stage.
We are gonna fight if you talk about eating my chicks one more time. Between you and my son calling them chicken nuggets, I swear I'm gonna like explode.
No, 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 no. They're family. They're not to be eaten. I'm gonna have to talk with nephew later.
You are funny. Listen. What's up, everyone? I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. What's up, Elle? What's up, Benjamin? Exquisite, creative. When he was talking about he went to, where the heck did he go? Arizona. I was like, yo, I was thinking the same thing you said. I was like, how you gonna say he went from one hot place to a cooler place? Arizona is not cool. I don't care what you say. I don't know what pocket you went to that had a little bit of coolness on a certain day, but that was just an anomaly because I don't know what you talk. Arizona's dry. It's a desert. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what cool pocket that you were next to because creative. I definitely resonate with what you were talking about. You was bugging that day. I don't know if you had a fever, so maybe it felt cooler. I'm not sure, but yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Arizona. You bugging. But yes, so I moved. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I was gonna make the space, but I'm forgetting, guys. I have now an hour deficit from you guys. So yes, I need to leave by 11 to get to my game night in my community. So I was sitting here ironing my clothes and I was like, yo, I can go to her space. So I'm excited about that. But yes, I moved. And when you were talking about, bro, when you were talking about you went here, there, I'm like, yo, let's go travel together. That's what I want to do. I didn't want to do this travel that I just did like 2 weeks ago, but it is what it is. We're at our point in our journey of life for a reason. I'm supposed to be here, whatever reason, I don't know. The universe will show it to me. But I moved from, and this is all in a span of 6 months. I moved from Jersey to PA and then PA to now Louisiana. So I'm over here in the swampland. I'm over here in the bayou. I'm over here, with the house of jambalaya. Everywhere you go, there's jambalaya this, jambalaya that. I'm like, yo, I don't even eat meat, man. So, so I got to find some shrimp jambalaya, I don't know, catfish jambalaya. I don't know. But I have moved before. I moved, let me see, when was it? Like gosh, when did I move? Like 2000, 2001. I went out to North Carolina, right? But I had help. It's different when you move on your own. I had help. I had my aunt. She drove the truck or whatever. Then I moved back to PA for a year, and then back to Jersey, right? And then the recent move out to PA, short-lived. I had my son. He's a big boy. He's 28, so he drove the truck. But this ride from PA all the way to Louisiana, which in total was a 20-hour ride for me, even though it's 18, and I'll explain that. It was nuts. When you do it yourself, when it's last minute and you have to figure out how all the moving pieces fit together, it's different. It hits different. Oh my gosh, it was a lot of work. Ness, what's up before I go on?
Yeah, I remember where exactly it is. It's Greer, Arizona. It's a small little area. So,
No, he didn't look it up.
nah, no, I actually had to remember where it was. I mean, like, no, because I remember it was like somewhere south. But yeah, Yeah, I had to look it up real quick. It is Greer, Arizona. It's actually one of the coolest places you can actually go to during the summertime. But I didn't go during summer. I went during fall. But I didn't stay there that long. I went to visit a friend, so that was pretty cool. But
Okay, what's the temperature there right now?
I don't know what the hell the temperature is right now. It's probably freaking
Look
like
it up. You
8,000
have
degrees.
Google?
It's probably like 8,000 degrees, if not. Well, it averages at 75 mostly. But anyway, congratulations on the move. Congratulations on the move because I know it was not easy. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that
No,
up.
that was a lot. Exquisite, please.
Hey, what's up, guys? Um, 10 years ago, or about 10 years ago, I used to be a real estate agent. Um, so obviously, I used to help people move all the time. I used to help them sell their house, find their dream home. In some cases, their forever home. And I'd done the job for about 3.5 years, and it was really rewarding actually because here in the UK, real estate agency doesn't actually pay that much. I think it's quite a higher profession over in the States. I might be wrong, but that's my understanding of it anyway. And it was always great to give people their keys on completion day. They're always really happy. But the standout thing for me in my time as an estate agent was that this is really nice lady, and we were selling a house for her, and she hit quite a lot of financial trouble, and we managed to get her house completed. I think it was 2 or 3 days before the bank would have repossessed it. um, and she was so grateful, and we managed to sell the house. She managed to pay off all of her debts, buy a smaller place, and yeah, it was just really rewarding to help her get out of that sticky financial situation and make a move that genuinely changed her life for the better. So I've got experience in moving myself, but I also helped people through that journey and some people out of some really sticky situations. So um, that's um, that's my contribution to it, and I'll always look back on it, as a fond memory.
Dope. Yes, and I didn't expect the accent, so bravo to that. Y'all know me. Whoever knows me knows I love accents, so that was a nice interruption to the flow here. Yes, in the States it is actually a profession. People make a good amount of money if you know what you're doing. It's like crypto. You buy low, you flip, you sell, you sell high, right? So that's how it goes here in the States. So yes, it is a pretty lucrative business if you know what you're doing. Um, so my move, oh my gosh, yes, yes, absolutely. Moving by yourself, even with someone else, even if you have help, it's a lot. But when you're doing it yourself last minute, like, oh my gosh, I gotta find somewhere to go. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I can do this. It's fine. The universe is always working in my favor. So it just so happens I was speaking with a friend of mine, and they were like, hey, and I was telling them, I got to move or whatever. They were like, yo, I have a place. It's moving condition, and you can have it. And I'm like, okay. So that's one door open. So I was like, all right. So I started planning. Got the address, started looking up pricing for, because I have all my stuff. I was trying to figure out whether I was just going to put it in storage, move, and then come back and get it. But I'm like, yo, I'm just doing this once. This is crazy. It's When I looked it up, it was 18 hours. But my move from Jersey, I left my son the place that I was in, so that he didn't have to go and qualify or whatever. So he is still in my old place, and I had a TV stand there, and like the stand that goes behind the couch. I had some things there that I wanted. So from PA, I took the 2.5 hour drive to Jersey. So that's backtracking. That's adding time onto my now 18-hour trip turned to a over 20-hour trip, a little over 20 hours. So I had to go there to pick stuff up. But I hired movers because I wasn't going to struggle with getting my things up and down all those stairs. So I hired them. So all of this, mind you guys, I'm not working at this time because now I'm moving. So I'm not really focused on crypto. I don't really have money coming in. So I'm relying on my savings now. So it's just like every 2 seconds, it's just like, yo, I have to pay this. I have to swipe this. At one point, I was like, are they going to block my card, thinking it's like scams? Because all this money is just deducting from my account. So that's a little nerve wracking, because it's like, all right, all this money is coming out. You don't have income coming in. But the movers got there. They're moving everything in there, and they're very cool guys. I love them. I would recommend them to anybody because they were very helpful. They were making jokes the whole time. They made it, they made it lighter, the move, because I'm just focused on getting this, getting that. Do I have enough room to put everything in? Do I have room when I get to Jersey to put stuff I want in there? So, they were joking with me and they were making it seem like, oh, it couldn't fit. But he's like, yeah, no, I like to do that, make everything lighthearted. So I got all that stuff together. Now, mind you, the day before, I'm also towing my car behind this, right? So I have to get a tow dolly. So I go to the great people at U-Haul, and I drive my car there, and I'm like, show me how to put this on. So they put it on for me. They show me everything to do. Now I'm 4'9", right? And I'm getting into this U-Haul. It was one of the any truck or SUV I get into, I'm always having to hoist myself in because I'm 4'9". They don't make those for people my height. So I'm getting in there and I'm sitting and they have everything connected. He's like, have you ever driven one of these? No, first time, let me know everything. So he's showing me things. And then I'm like, okay, he puts me on my way. I have the car behind me. And then I realize the steering wheel doesn't adjust. the freaking steering wheel doesn't adjust. So I am taking this trip with this big ass steering wheel that's taking up half of my visual. It's taking up half my vision while I'm driving. So I'm like, you know what? Who cares? I'm just doing it. So that's just one thing that's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do 20 hours of this? But I kept on pushing because I am my father's daughter, right? You have to reach down to that resilience, to that power inside you and just do it, right? And I felt called to move. So I was just like, it's time to go. It's got to go. So that's one thing. Pulling a car on a dolly behind a truck. You've never driven a truck. I've driven an SUV, but never a truck. It's different. The turns are different. They're a lot wider. And these streets in PA, I was in the mountains, mind you. These streets are so freaking narrow. So that's an adjustment. And then let's not even get to the part where I get on the highway. So I'm getting on the highway and I'm driving and there's this guy trying to flag me down. He gets in front of me, right? He gets in front of me and he stops and he gets out. And I'm like, what does this guy want? So he comes to the car and I'm like, hey, can I help you? And he's like, your whole back of your truck is open. You can see everything in the back. I'm like, oh shit. No, nobody closed the back of the truck. The movers didn't close it. And my little ass did not get up there and close it. So thankfully I was right next to a shopping center, a big shopping center. So I pulled in, I get out, I park the truck. And I'm like, I jump my ass up there and I pull the thing down and I secure it, right? Nothing fell out because the movers had did such a good job. They put one of the mattresses as the very last thing to hold everything together. And they did one of those ratchet, what are they called? The things where you put what do you call it? The tie. The tie down, it was a ratchet, so it kept everything. So I was like, oh, good, I didn't lose anything. So close that. That was one thing. So as I'm going, I'm still in the mountains. We're not going super fast. So everything was fine, but it's weird adjusting to driving with a tow behind you because the tow is just like, it's kind of like free. You move, it moves. And the wind. And then when the trucks go by you, they like push you. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with the alignment of the wheel of this freaking truck? Like should I call them and have them check this out? But it's just how it is. And I had to get used to it. But fast forward, I'm driving and I notice I'm getting tired. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the freak? I really didn't get enough sleep. So I'm like, all right, let me just stop at a hotel first before I continue. So I stopped. I only planned for 3 hotel nights, but it ended up being 4 because I stopped for that one. So I stopped, got some sleep, headed out the next day, and it was still the same shit. I was just too tired. I don't know the energies. I think the energies were of that going on in the universe where you were sleepy. Everyone. I don't know if you felt those like around 2.5 weeks ago. You were if you were extremely tired, that's just the energies of the universe. That's upgrades happening, whether you realize it or not. It was going on, and I wasn't paying attention to it because I was, just in the midst of moving. So that added to it. So I'm not a tea drinker. I don't consume caffeine if I can help it. But I was like, I talked to Ness, and Ness was like, "Yo, sis, get some freaking coffee." I was like, I don't drink coffee, but I will go get some caffeinated tea. So every like 2-3 hours, I was hitting those rest stops to get me some tea to keep going, to keep moving. Now I felt the sleep coming on, but the caffeine kept it away. So that was good. But I knew I was going to crash because of the caffeine and all that sugar that I had to put in that caffeinated tea. Because black tea, I don't drink black tea. I drink herbal tea. So it's an adjustment. So I'm driving, and it just so happens I look out of the side mirror, and I'm like, yo, why are my tires turned to the side? And I was like, this doesn't seem right. So I pull over to the shoulder. Mind you, 70 miles per hour at this point, guys. The highways are 70 miles per hour. I don't know how long I have been driving like that with my tires looking like that, but I just looked and I pulled over, and everybody's zooming past and pushing me. And, I'm like, God dang. So I get out. I go to check the tires, and the straps that hold the freaking tires to my car down are off. They're freaking off. I don't know how long I was driving like that, but there is a hook. There's like on each side of the tire welds, there's a metal chain hook. Now one was hooked around the left side, but the guy who put the right side on did not even hook it to anything. He hooked it to itself. I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, yo, I don't know how long my car was hanging on by a freaking thread. It could have come off at any moment. I don't know how long I was driving like that. So I am nervous beyond belief right now. I had a little mini freak out for like 30 seconds. I got in the truck. I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, Janine, you got to put it together. You got to fix this. You got to handle this. You got to figure out what to do. Trying to call my friend because he has horses, so he knows how to put trailers on it. Da, da, da. But he's not answering because he's at work. So I'm like, all right, I got to figure this out myself. So I try to look for the next biggest gas station, and it said it was like 13 miles away. And I was like, freak. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't know. Because when you're aware of something, you're more nervous. I wasn't aware before, so I don't know how long I was driving like that. But I'm like, you know what? I got to do it. It's not safe to back my car off the tow dolly with all this traffic. It's just not safe. So I get back on the highway. I'm doing like 50. Everyone's speeding by me. All these 18-wheelers just pushing me side to side. And I thought it was me, that was unsteady, but it's not. It's just how it is, because when I pulled over and, to feel the force of those 18-wheelers just going by, it's more than 70 miles an hour. You feel it. I'm like, oh, it's not me. It's that. It's the force. It's trying to help me move along, I guess. So thankfully, the closest one, I don't know what was going on with Google at that point, but the closest one was like a mile or two down the road. So I pull in, find me a nice place where enough room where I can pull back, because now this is a truck rest stop, so I have the room to do it. And so I was trying to unfasten the ratchet, and it wasn't working. And I looked down, and it's like all rusty. And thankfully, this little old man, this little guy and his wife pull up in their camper, and they're pulling their car behind their RV, and they get out, and he was like, "You need help?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And he tries to pull it. He couldn't pull it out. So he goes back and he was like, "Wait, I got some oil." And he had this little can, little handy little guy, and he sprayed oil and then helped me pull the toe off, right? The strap. So I unstrapped it, went under there, unstrapped everything, pulled back the car off, repositioned everything, pulled the car back on, strapped down the tires, strapped everything. And as I was talking to him, he was like, no, you have to check every single time you stop to make sure that those straps are still on your tire because they loosen up. I didn't know that. The U-Haul people didn't tell me that. When I asked them to tell me everything, I told them I was new. So they dropped the ball there, but you know what? I figured it out. And then I went to YouTube just to make sure I had connected everything back, because YouTube has everything. You can learn everything off of YouTube. So he actually stood there and watched me do it. Made sure I got everything right. He reminded me to pull the ramps up off the tow dolly, and then I was on my way. So that was that little fiasco right there. I was like, man, this trip is turning out really interesting. So I'm driving, and as I'm driving, I'm like, it's getting late. So I'm like, all right, I have to find a hotel. So I give the navigation over to my 14-year-old son, because it's now dark and I don't do good in the dark. The lights, I have astigmatism. Anybody knows about astigmatism? The lights from the oncoming traffic, it messes up your eyes. Like it's hard to see. So I'm like, I don't feel comfortable, first of all, driving the truck where I can barely see because of the wheels in my vision, my line of sight. And then it's nighttime, and then I have all these, headlights coming at me. So my vision is already, got like 8 strikes against me there. So I hand it over to him. I was like, here, tell me where this, I think it was like a Quality Inn over there. That was the closest one. So I was like, here, navigate me to this. So he waits, my son, love him. He's 14. He waits till the last minute to say, hey, you got to make this right. Well, guess what? I have more than 8,000 pounds of force behind me. I cannot stop like I could, zoom in a car, like zoom, skirt. I can't do that with the truck. I'll be over there in the ditch. So I had to pass it, right? And you have to make Y turns and you have to prepare. And like, it's crazy. So, but it was a good experience. It was a good learning experience. I'm glad I did it. I know what it is. I've experienced that and I know I can do that. So not that I'm going to do it again, guys. Next time I'm going to hire one of those pods. I'm not playing. I'm going to hire those pod people. They're going to drop me off a thing. I'm going to put all my stuff in there and then they're going to deliver it because Janine Shorty is not doing that again. But anyway, so had to find an alternate route. So I turned down this one road, the next road. And there are there's a lot of traffic. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And as I'm getting closer, there's cars turning around. And I'm like, fuck, what's going on? Turns out there was a freaking accident ahead. Car flipped over. Somebody got out in the ambulance. But I'm now stuck because I cannot back up. When you have a car on a tow dolly, you can't back up. Because if you back up, you can back up a little bit. But if you continue to back up, the car is going to turn, right? That'll pop it right off. So you really you can't back up. So I'm stuck there. It was over an hour and some change. I'm stuck there. I turned the truck off. Mind you, did I tell you guys these little chicks that Bro Ness mentioned earlier? I had them with me on the trip. I don't know what possessed me to get these freaking chicks before I got to Louisiana, but they were with me on the trip, along with my iguana, Noe, who is about 6 feet, right? I had him in a cat carrier. So my son is holding the cat carrier. My daughter's in the middle holding these baby chicks who every time we stop, we're getting out, giving them water or whatever. So mind you, I have all this going on and my daughter's in the middle and it's not, I didn't even realize it. It wasn't a bench U-Haul, right? There was just the 2 seats and then she's in the middle. So I'm like, listen, you're going to have to sit right here and don't stand up because there's police up there and you're not supposed to be in the middle without a seatbelt. So this is all going on. This is very interesting that I did this, but hey, we're all good. But after that, after they finally clear, they had to I had to wait there the whole time. The police report's going on, the family's coming, they're grabbing stuff out of the car before it gets towed, all this stuff, people crying, breaking down. 2 tow trucks had to come. Fire truck had to come, police officers are there, all this. So I would say maybe 2 hours. Finally get to the hotel, and we get to bed. But this trip, I don't know what possessed me to do this. I don't know what Wonder Woman ulterior, what do you call that? Not personality. What do you call that? My ulterior, I don't know, my inner avatar. I don't know what it is that told me that I should just do this on my own, that I can muster up the strength to do this on my own. But I just did it. I just did it without thought. And this is what happens when you just believe that you can do something, when you just focus on your end goal and don't worry about all that other stuff. You can do freaking anything. Because if I had thought it, let me tell you something. If I let my little monkey brain, we all have that little monkey brain inside, right? If you let that little monkey brain talk you out of it, if you listen to it, you wouldn't do half the shit that you do. I wouldn't have done that. I felt it the whole time I was packing. I felt my little monkey brain trying to come in, but what about this? I was like, nope, I shut it down right away, because if I let it go, I would have let it talk me out of taking this trip. I wouldn't have made the progress that I did. All those times that I just felt like I couldn't go, if I would have let my monkey brain, interrupt me, and if I would have let it take over, then I wouldn't have made that trip. There are quite a few times on that trip I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But I said to myself, you know what? You can do this. You're going to do this. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out how it's supposed to. And it did. I was so happy when I saw that I only had 2 hours left. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking almost there. I was so excited. I was like, let's pull over into this rest stop. And on the way, let me tell you something. The universe helps you out because some of these rest stops didn't have freaking black tea. As you get into Louisiana, they didn't have freaking black tea. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I was like, I got to finally, this had been like the third one I pulled into it. I was like, I need this tea to keep me going. I pull into a rest stop, nice young man at the beginning, the front of the counter. I was like, sir, I was like, what is going on here? Do you guys not have black tea in Louisiana? Is there like something going on with you not having black tea? I see you got like a little herbal citrus tea, but I need the caffeine right now. And he was like, he told me something about his supplier. And I was like, is that in all of Louisiana? Because it's like the past 3 that I stopped at. And it's a lot. Not to mention, oh my gosh, not to mention the gas filling up that freaking truck. But let me tell you, Universe always, 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 always is working for me, always looking out for me. I was talking to him and I was like, while I'm here, let me get something out of this stop. Let me fill up the truck. So I go to fill up. Well, let me tell you about our conversation. So we're having a conversation. I was like, listen, just tell me where the closest grocery store is because I can go there, I can buy the tea, that I can come back here and make it, right? And he was like, but at that point, you're just buying water and I'm not going to charge you for water. I was like, okay. But I still had it in my mind. I was like, please just charge me for a coffee. Go to Walmart, go to fill up the truck before I leave. And it tells me to select the gas grade, right? I'm a Jersey girl. We don't pump our own gas. I had to get used to it in PA. But I was like, damn, nowhere in the world except, Jersey pumps their own gas. Like nowhere in the world except Jersey has people come out and pump their gas. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So anyway, I asked me to select my fuel grade, which I thought was odd because they always ask for your card first. So I put it in, selected the fuel grade, and it said begin pumping. I'm like, okay, I guess, I'll put it in after. Filled up the truck and put the handle back in there and it paid it. And I put the receipt out and I was like, oh shit, somebody else paid for my gas. It wasn't me. So so I got that freebie. Somebody had left their card open. So I got that freebie. That was a gift. I was like, thank you, universe. So went to Walmart, came back to the store and made my tea, went up to the counter and asked him I was like, please, I just used like 12 creamers. I was like, just charge me for a coffee. And he was like, happy Easter. He wouldn't let me pay for it. So I was like, thank you. And I left. So I got those 2 freebies. So I was like, oh, thank you, universe. It's just the little things that make a difference on your trip. Creative, my guy, go ahead.
So I have a question for you, OAJ. Um, One, where in Louisiana did you move? Because my people's from there, my family from there, so maybe I can help you out with some spots and some things to get into and some good food. And two, like I really commend you on like what you said, like taking that journey and stuff like that, even though you had things that might have discouraged you to turn around and go back. Because I did the same thing when I moved to Houston from California. I just picked up, packed my Honda, and just hit the road. And then when I got to Houston, there were some bumps in the road, but like I almost became homeless in Houston. But I stayed there, worked it out, and everything kind of worked out for my good. So I commend you for that. But yeah, where in Louisiana are you at?
Thank you, creative, for that. It took a lot. It would have been, I'm gonna tell you, it would have been a lot easier solo. I would have been so cool solo, but I was, tracking 2 kids. These were my concerns, not for me, because I know how to navigate. But my children are didn't grow up how I grew up. You know, when I grew up, I was in the streets. Like I was just all over the place. I knew how to navigate everything. I know the warning signs, everything. Street smart, basically. But these 2 children of mine, I've kept them kind of sheltered. It could be a disadvantage in one part, and then not so much in another part because you don't have to deal with that pressure of fitting in and things like that. So I'm watching them become their own people on their own terms, right? So that's a big bonus for me, and I think at the end of the day, that's going to help them get further in life, right? Because they don't have all of those extra layers, and they're homeschooled, so they don't have all those extra layers of the pressure of fitting in these little cliques in school, and kids are mean. I know. Kids are mean. So kids can be mean, but you know what? Well, when they're younger, it's just them being honest. But when you get into the middle school and you get into the high school, you know, it's just trauma coming out. So, and I prefer my kids, you know, not to have to deal with that. So they're living life on their own terms, and you know how they navigate it. You know, I can guide them along, and they'll find their way pretty easy. I think so. But we all have those type of situations we have to deal with. But hopefully, I'm giving them that leg up that they can navigate it more easily than I did. I was trial and error. I was, you know, get into it and figure out how to get out of it. And you sometimes it didn't go well. That's just how life is. It depends on what your path is and what your journey is and the choices you make along it, right? I am in, never heard of this before. It's Independence, Louisiana. I think the biggest city next to it is Hammond. I'm about 90 minutes outside of New Orleans. So swamp is what I'm hearing. You know what's funny? When I went and I told my father, because my father and I, we haven't had, oh, I gotta go. But my father and I hadn't had a really great relationship throughout my childhood and growing up. It's just over the past couple years, I've realized, you know what? You know, since I'm on my journey and I'm growing and I'm learning new things and I'm open and you know, all that anger and all that childhood trauma, I'm working through it and navigating through it, right? So I've just realized over the past 2 years that, you know what, he did the best that he could do at the time with the tools that he had. You know what I'm saying? So at one point I hated him. Now I'm just like, I love him and I forgive him. And I know that he was just doing the best that he could. My childhood was nuts. Nuts.com. You know, at one point, you know, my mom, you know, she got kicked out or whatever because, you know, she was, you know, being a little shady. Oh, mom, she's funny. So it's just my single father, you know, trying to raise us, but he didn't really know how to raise kids, you know. It's all, you know, trial and error, and, you know, he did the best he could. So, you know, me going through and healing through from that, you know, I have a deeper understanding of parenthood and what's it like and learning from what I wouldn't want my children to deal with what I had to deal with growing up. So it's always good to reflect on your past experiences, but not to live in them. Learn from them, grow from them. Don't live in them. Let them go. Don't fester because staying in the past will keep you depressed, right? Looking back, you can't change it. It's happened already. You know, you got to let it go, and that's what I did. I learned to heal through it and grow from it. You know, so now, you know, I just live in the now. Um, being grateful and thankful for everything I have now, every little moment. Even being here with you guys is, you know, I'm grateful to hear your voices and sharing your energy. And if you guys come up and I can hear your stories, well, I got 4 minutes. I actually should be on my other, I should be in the Zoom waiting and joking around with other people. But, you know, I was meant to be here today for somebody to hear me or for me to even just share what you know, what I went through to help me further heal on my journey. So it's all for a good reason. And I am going to mute myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me talk. I don't know if you got bored down there, if you guys fell asleep. Apologies. But it was good to get some of that out. There's a whole lot more, but that is basically the gist of it. And thank you for your encouraging words, creative. And I will yield the mic.
Sis, you don't understand. I am so proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I'm happy and excited that you actually went on this journey without thinking about it because you're right. I mean, like a lot of us, even myself, like I'll be like, yeah, I'm not. I'll get out of bed like I'm not doing nothing today because that's that stinking thinking, you know. And I'm like, nah, you know. Some days I was like, you know, you gotta get up and do it. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you 1,000% on that. But right now, I gotta get up and grab some lunch. So I shall return in a few minutes, depending on who's serving today at the shelter here. But don't forget, guys, like and keep the space. And if you do have a story or a comment and whatnot, please drop it down in the comments if you cannot. If you're not able to come up and speak, feel free to do so if you can. Come grab the mic and we will bring you up and definitely we will love to hear your stories and just share. But Elle, I'm gonna pass it to you while I go grab lunch.
Okay, wow, that was awesome. I feel like I was just sitting here at story time, hanging out, lounging, and I could picture everything. It was very vivid for me. I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but I really felt like I was on this cross country journey there. So thank you so much, OAJ, for sharing. We knew that you have a lot to offer to this topic just because of your 6 months, which sounds like years. I can't imagine doing that all together. And I did not know that the chicks were along for the journey. I thought you got them in Louisiana. So they've already traveled more than a lot of people have. That is wild. Do you like where you are in Louisiana? I know you're going to head out of here shortly, but just a follow up compared to Pennsylvania.
Let me tell you, yes. Honestly, because I'm logging onto my Zoom now. I'm going to keep the camera off because I'm not quite dressed, honestly. But yes, this brings me back to my roots, where I grew up in Millstone when I was just a wee bitty thing. We lived on, now it's not, now it's very beautifully built up over there, $1 million mansions. But when I was there, we had apple orchards, dirt roads. It was a big farmhouse out in Millstone, New Jersey, and it was the woods, right? And we had wild strawberries growing, raspberries. We just went and picked them. We went to I remember it was Frank D'Amico's farm. We used to, cut through this hole in the fence and grab apples and run out because the workers there didn't really know us, but we knew the family, but they didn't really know us all the way at the other end because his apple orchards were huge. They spanned for acres and acres. So at the end, the workers didn't know us, but we still stole apples. From there, and we ate them. But in the back of my yard, mind you, we had chickens, we had pigs, we had a horse. I don't really recall the horse because I was really young at that time, but we do have pictures. Her name was Linda. But I do remember the pigs and I do remember the chickens. I actually got in trouble for messing with the chickens one time. That was, we called him Papa, was my grandfather, my dad's dad. But we had huge blackberry bushes, and every year the freaking blackberries would get bigger. Well, it just so happens in my backyard here is a huge, huge spanning blackberry bush across the back of my yard. And I found that out because I was at where is it? Where is it? Wow, Walmart. I was at Walmart yesterday to get an aloe plant, and I was like, yo, let me just, like, I have all this yard now. It's like half an acre or a little more, almost an acre. Let me grow some watermelons. Let me grow some carrots. Like, let's just, utilize what I have right here. Because I don't know if you guys know, well, most of you know. If you don't know, most of the watermelons in the store are GMO. They're seedless and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, what happened to those giant watermelons with all the seeds in them? We were spitting the pits at each other. Where are those watermelons? They're huge. And so I went and I got some organic, non-GMO watermelon, like the long watermelon, the watermelon from back in the day where you go to the side, the farmer's market selling his stuff on the side of the road, and you go and you pick up these big watermelons. That's what I wanted. So I found those, and I was going in the back to dig up some ground to put the seeds in there, and I see blackberries, and it just brought up all these, good memories and this good feeling, this nostalgia, and I was like, I am meant to be here. So yes, definitely love it more than the mountains. As I was leaving, it was starting to warm up a little bit, and I would have liked to stay there for the summer, but it wasn't meant to be. I was meant to be here. A lot warmer here, guys. I've been going on walks every day, and it's different here. It's different. The Southern hospitality culture is a thing because everybody, I know none of these people, and they're all waving to me as they're going by because I think it's odd that they see people walking up and down the high. I just do that. I like go for walks. So I'm walking through the neighborhood. I'm walking up and down the highways, which, mind you, some of these little highways don't have sides. So I'm literally in the way, but you guys can go around. It's okay. Yeah, that's just how like, I don't have anywhere else to walk, so I'm just gonna walk with what I have. You guys can adjust. But they all wave, and I'm like, hi, hi, hi. Funny story yesterday. I'm on my Zoom, but I'm waiting for them to actually open it. They're opening a little late. Apparently, they're still getting ready. But funny story. I was in Walmart yesterday, and this is just for a laugh. This freaking little old guy. He was like, "Whoa, you smell good." And I was like, "Me?" He was like, "Yeah, I was just walking by and I just smelled this, and I know it's not me." He was like, "Can I smell you?" I'm like, "I'm sure." He was like, "Yeah, it was you." I was like, "Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you." And then I kept going. But yeah, it's funny people here.
And I'm back. Holy crap! I walked into I don't know what the hell I just walked into. So you got dude smelling you. Oh good lord, what the hell, sis? Yeah, go back. No. No. You have to charge for people to smell us. Okay? No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But definitely, I'm glad you enjoyed your journey, and I know you got plenty more stories to go through and whatnot to share with us. I would love to hear them because I enjoy hearing everyone's journey and their stories and what they go through in their adventures. Because at the end of the day, we're all telling our story at the end of it, and that's a beautiful thing. But oof, the laughs, yes, the laughs. I love the laughs. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Grab some lunch. Yay, more chicken and rice. I swear, these people. I think I'm gonna be chickened out by the time I leave the shelter. I swear, I'm not gonna eat chicken when I leave here for like a long time. I'm probably gonna become a vegetarian. Yeah. I think I'm about to. I'm thinking of
You
doing it.
lie.
No,
That's just a lie right there.
no. I'm seriously thinking about doing it. It's just I'm sick. Like I don't even eat beef anymore. Like, but I'm done with. I don't even want this chicken right now. I'm about to give it up. I'm about to give it to somebody because I don't even want the chicken. I'll just eat the rice.
Creative. So where are your people at? Do you know where Independence is? If you're able to speak.
Hold on. Oh shit.
He's smoking. It's 420.
All right, I'm here. My bad, my bad. I'm in the middle of trying to make breakfast for the little one. But my people are at Hammond, New Orleans, Baker, Baton Rouge. Uh, so they're pretty much all over. But you definitely, I don't know what your dietary restrictions are, but shrimp Creole, definitely got to go down there to Bourbon Street and get you some alligator bites. You got to go down to Cafe du Monde down there in New Orleans and get you some fudge from the fudgery over there. The jambalaya is kicking. So you definitely gotta get you some po' boys for the kids. The kids that love the po' boys. They're like po' boys. That means poor person sandwich for all you educated individuals out there that don't speak that swamp language. But yeah, there's a lot of great food. If you like to sip on a little something and enjoy yourself, get you a hand grenade. Don't drink it fast. Take your time. Walk around French Quarters a little bit while you sipping on it. You can get it straight or you could get it slushy style. But yeah, man, they got a really rich culture out there. A lot of great food. Don't be like Zion Williams. Push away from the table. Push away from the table. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of culture. A lot of rich. A lot of things you can learn out there, man. I love going out there. I used to go out there every summer when I was a kid because my grandmother lived in Baker, Louisiana. So I spent a lot of time out there. But yeah, so if you have any questions about Louisiana, please feel free. My DMs are always open. OHA, my DMs are always open. So
Okay, so I have dietary restrictions that I place on myself. So I don't consume meat, but I still consume seafood. So I was like, because I know you got Louisiana culture, the southern thing down here, they're all about crawfish and jambalaya, but I haven't had jambalaya yet because I don't eat meat. But I know there's other variations, like you said, the shrimp. But I tried crawfish, and I'm gonna tell you, okay, they look like huge shrimp or mini lobsters to me. Very cute little things. So obviously, I'm not gonna kill them myself. I had them already. They were in the freezer, and my friend told me that's not the way you want to try them first. I was like, but I want to try them, and I want to eat them now. So I got them from the store, and I'm the type of person where I'm going to read the back of the label to see where they came from. One came from China. I was like, okay, that's a no-go. And then one came from local, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay more for the local one. So I got the local one, defrosted, made homemade mashed potatoes, corn, and biscuits. So, and I made a little gravy um, in the with the crawfish, right? As they were defrosting, I seasoned them up and put some flour in there, made a little gravy. I'm going to tell you, coming from Jersey, I'm a water baby, oceans mainly, right? So you have that salt water, the fish taste, like the shrimp, you have that ocean taste. Tasting crawfish for the first time is different because it tastes more like the lake. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's nasty because it was not nasty. It's just different because even though I lived in Millstone where we had streams and we had lakes, I'd never eaten a crawfish, never eaten anything out of the lake. it was always ocean. It was always shrimp. It was always lobster. It was always crab. So I had the ocean taste. Eating crawfish is something I would have to get used to, although I seasoned them to death. So it wasn't bad, but it's a change. It's something where it's just like, all right, I'm not going to go buy these again. However, if I'm out with people and that's what's on the menu, I'll get it. So it's like that, but it's not a disgusting taste. I was explaining it to my sister. She started laughing. She was like, judging by what you're saying. I was like, no, it's not nasty. It's just like, it tastes like the lake because that's where you get the
Nah,
crawfish from.
okay. So you cooked them your style, but you got to get them Louisiana style, right? So you got to get the Louisiana crawfish boil. You got to get Louisiana crawfish boil. I don't know how you ate them if they were in the shell or not,
No,
but
just tell me.
it was just to tell me. No, 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 no.
Hmm.
See, so you got to go. If you're gonna make them at home, get them from Louisiana Crawfish Company. They'll hook you up, or you could go to a place called Tony Satchery's. Tony Satchery's got some good ones. But you have to have them Louisiana style. If you're going to get a Louisiana delicacy, you got to cook it Louisiana style. And if you just getting down to Louisiana, I'm pretty sure you didn't get it Louisiana style. So you got to get the Louisiana crawfish ball, get you some red potatoes, get you some corn on the cob, so split them in half, get you some lemons, put it in a little pot. You can make a little personal pot, boil them in there for, like maybe like 15 minutes or so. Maybe throw some shrimp in there if you want. And yeah, you get it. And then what you do is you take that pot and you dump it on the table and you eat it Louisiana style.
He said, dump it on the
Yeah,
table.
but and then if you're in New Orleans and somebody come up to you, don't get shocked. Don't get culture shocked. If somebody comes up to you say, "Hey, little mama, what's good, baby?" They're just saying hello. They're not trying to scare you off. They're not trying to, holler at you and snatch you off the street. We just nice, good old Creole people down there in Louisiana. So yeah.
Yeah. So no, I did actually make them. Obviously, I just said I made them. I made them here, so I know it's a big difference. It definitely is if I go out and get it. But the crawfish boil. So I went and I had a boil, but it was crab legs, of course. And I asked them to, because they have with a boil, everybody wants to put sausage in everything. I'm like, guys, what about the people who don't eat meat? I guess that's a foreign concept. So I said, do you guys make this separately? Or when you do the boil, you do it all together? They're like, no, everything is done separately. I was like, okay, so can you leave the sausage out and put extra shrimp or potatoes or whatever in it? And that's what they did. So if that place, I didn't see a crawfish boil on that menu, but I can go back and check. But you know what I do love, which I was excited about getting down here? When I was in North Carolina, I found hush puppies, right? That's a big thing there. And they're banging, rocking. So when I got here, I was like, yes, that's right, hush puppies. And the hush puppies are different here. They actually put whole kernels of corn in there. I was like, okay, that's different, but it still tastes good. I mean, the seasonings are rocking because they actually put like more seasonings in the hush puppies here than they do in North Carolina. At least the place I went in North Carolina. So it's still good. It still tastes like hush puppies, but it has that little extra crunch
Yeah.
in the middle.
Hey, Louisiana, all about the seasoning. You know what I mean? So if you're a person that can't
Yes.
handle salt, don't go down to Louisiana because that'll mess you up. But when you eat something that tastes really, really good, you gotta go. That's that, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? So that's that, yeah, yeah. You gotta sound like Juvenile when you down there.
No, you understand? No. Um, I have to do it, I have to sound like me. I'm gonna be me wherever I go, original as always. But when I was making them, I used the Zatarain's Creole seasoning and blackened. I put them together because I was like, when they first defrosted and there was already cooked, I was just like, all right, let me see what this tastes like, and this straight tastes like the lake, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, give
So
me the
so
seasonings.
blackened is good, not for crawfish, but it's good for like alligator and it's good for like
Yeah, I'm not
fish.
eating nobody's
No,
alligator.
listen. I know you're not gonna eat. I'm just saying that blackened when you do blackened stuff. Don't do the crawfish on that. I've tried to do blackened crawfish before, just experimenting and stuff. Never comes out right. You gotta have that Louisiana. You gotta have that crawfish ball. So I'm gonna send you a picture of it, and I'm gonna make sure that you get you some because that's where it's at. But yeah, crawfish is I love it, man. Especially down and when they have Mardi Gras and stuff like that, Fat Tuesday, all that stuff, man. Or they have the Bayou Classic is coming up in November. Yeah, it gets real live down there.
Oh, so you want me to go to New Orleans? Well, so here's the thing. I've never been to New Orleans. My sister is coming. I think she said May, June, and she wants to go to New Orleans. So that's, I guess, where I'll go get the crawfish boil. And I'm big on taking pictures, so I will take. Are you in our back channels, creative in our group, or I can just DM you? I can just DM you
Yeah,
pictures. I'll take
I
pictures.
DM'd you. No, I'm not in those groups. I'm in too many. I'm in too many back channels, man.
Oh,
I
yo,
feel
me
like I'm
too.
in the dark web or something. You know what I mean? I'm on all these back channels. I feel like I'm in those Mexican canals. You know, but
Yo, those can be very useful. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because if I want to know something, or I'm like, yo, what's up with this? I know which one of those back channels to hit up to get the information I need.
facts, facts, facts.
So they have a use, you just tap them when you need them. But no, that is true. I'm in so freaking many. Actually, I hopped out of 10 of them and I seem to have acquired 10 more. And I'm like, how the freak does this happen? The people just put you in them. And I'm like, yo. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, so I'm going to go check out the New Orleans culture. Gonna wear some very comfortable sneakers. So I know there's gonna be a lot of places I'm gonna wanna visit. But no, I don't drink. But can I get a virgin slushy? Will they look at me differently?
It's impossible to get a
I
virgin
knew it.
hand grenade. It's impossible because, all right. So since you don't drink, I'm gonna give you the breakdown of what's in it, and you'll see why you can't get a virgin version of this drink, right? So it has vodka, it has um, it has rum, it has Malibu rum, vodka, has 151, it has
Damn.
melon liqueur, and then you could put, if you want in it, if you want a little bit different flavor, you could put in some orange juice. But most of it is just liquor. So,
I
uh,
wouldn't survive if I drank that. How they gonna have 151 in there in addition to vodka and
so,
orange liqueur? Like, how do you
so it's the
survive? How do you walk?
yeah. So this right here is the hard. It's known as the hardest drink in Louisiana, and it's called the hand grenade. And they give it to you like this tall, like when you go to Vegas, they give you this tall glass, this plastic glass. At the bottom of it is shaped like a hand grenade, and they give it to tourists and stuff a lot of the times because when they come down there, tourists try to come down there and drink, and this knocks them off their feet. But I always tell people drink it slow. So when I first took my sister down there, and it was her first time down there in New Orleans when she was able to drink. And I said, hey, look, man, you gotta have a hand grenade. So I gave her a hand grenade. I said, but look, we're gonna walk around French Quarters, so just sip it. Just take your time with it. Don't try to do too much with it because you can't really taste the liquor in it, and it hits you like a couple minutes later. So you'll be sipping it like it's water, whatever. You're like, hey, this tastes so great, blah 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 blah. And next, you're done, and we only walked, down the block. And yeah, you get messed up. So by the time we got down the block, I looked at her and she was like already throwing it in the trash. I'm like, dang, you done already? She's like, yeah, that was good. Man, about 5 minutes later, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so messed up. Well, because it's hot out there, it's humid out there, you've been drinking, you didn't watch your liquor intake. So I had to take her home early and that kind of cut our trip a little short. But definitely it's an amazing drink, but you can't have it as a virgin drink though. And I don't really drink either, so if I drink a hand grenade, it's maybe once or twice a year, and that's that.
So from your description, first of all, you would have to look and then find me because I'd probably be sitting on the sidewalk. Like, no, this is just not going to work. So you'd probably have to carry me. And it's fine because I'm sure it's fine. I'll just fit in your pocket. But you get to keep that cup. That's the only thing I was concerned about because you said it was in the shape of it. So you get to keep that. So if I ordered one and let you drink it, you just give me the cup because that's all I want out of this story.
Yeah,
This
you can
cup.
keep the cup because what people do is when you go back and you have that cup, then they just give you a refill and it's cheaper. So people walk around with that cup, they keep it as a souvenir cup. It's like a souvenir cup.
Okay. So if somebody else drink it, I buy it, somebody else drink it, and I get the souvenir. I like that. Win-win.
Yeah, you can give it to your sister if she drinks.
I think she still does. Not like
So
not
so
not a
so
lot,
have
but I
her
think
have
so.
her have a hand grenade, but don't tell her what's in it. Just say, hey, look, take your time,
No,
and
that's
let's see
foul.
if
I
she
can't do
listens. See
that.
if she listens.
I'm not gonna do that. Plus, we're gonna have the kids, so probably not. I'll listen. You know what I would have to do? Either go out there with you, or if I go out there with her and order one, I just have to dump it out. That's just what's gonna happen.
All
Because we're
right.
gonna have the kids.
Hey,
I'm pretty
when
sure
I
she
when
will.
I come down and visit my people down there, I give you a heads up.
Yes, let me know.
Yeah, for
Because then
sure.
I'll come down there and watch y'all get silly. And I'm naturally high off life, so it'll be a good time for me anyway. I'll just be laughing at y'all being silly.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Cause Ghost. You know what I mean. I'm a Saints fan, so it's all good. I come down there during football season.
Oh, that would be fun. I don't really have a team anymore. They dismantled my team, but yeah, that would be fun.
Hey, the New Orleans Saints games are, man, they're the livest crowd in the NFL. They haven't been winning a lot lately, but they're the livest crowd.
I don't know. Have you been to a Philly game?
Yeah, I was stationed yeah, I've been to a Philly game because I was stationed right there like near Baltimore, and I used to drive up to Philly because I used to like going to the museum, the art museum and stuff. I like going to what is that, Max's or Geno's, or get a real Philly wherever they had in the boxing movie. What's that boy name? Michael B. Jordan used to go there. And I used to get my
Okay.
Philly cheesesteaks, and that dude would always tell me, "Hey man, I was in his movies, man. Blah blah." And the dude was missing the teeth and stuff. It's the same dude in the movies. He's like, "Yeah, they filming the next one out here." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna come." And then I learned going to Philly that I've never had a real Philly cheesesteak in my life. So when they were telling me, "Hey, you want a half or a whole one?" I was like, "Yo, I'm a man. I want a whole one. I don't want no half one. I don't want no kid size little thing." He showed me the whole one. I said, "Nah, dog, you can keep that. I'll take the kitty plate. Yeah, I'll take that one over there because that big one, man, that's too much. That feed like a whole family." So, but yeah, nah,
No,
I
you're
like Philly.
right. Most definitely. I don't see when I went there when I was still eating meat, that was more than 6 years ago. And I got a Philly cheesesteak. I don't it's not really considered a Philly cheesesteak because I'm like, don't put this on it, don't put that on it, don't put that on it. So I'm just like, why did you come here?
Yeah, I
Take
get the I
your
get the
ass
hoagie.
back across the bridge to Jersey.
Yeah, I get the hoagie style, so I don't put the cheese whiz on it. I don't fuck with cheese
Yeah, I don't
whiz.
do cheese whiz.
Nah, man.
Mm-mm.
As a kid, I grew up and we used to have the little white label government cheese and stuff. Man, and
Mhm.
when I hear cheese whiz, I'm like, "Ugh."
Wait,
Give
wait,
me
wait. The
PTSD.
bologna with the red stuff around it that you had to peel up.
Yeah, you gotta stab the middle because it bubble up in the middle and stuff when you put it in the pan. Yeah, and then you get the
Fried
concentrated
bologna and
Kool-Aid.
cheese
The constant
sandwiches.
We
Ooh.
used to get the concentrated Kool-Aid where it was like a syrup. Oh no, man,
Mm-mm.
it was
I'm about to
bad.
take you. I'm about to take you to the powdered milk, and then you squeezing it out like the cereal cornflakes on the side of the bowl, just to try to get the most of the moisture out, and then just so the flakes would be moist. And because powdered milk is disgusting.
Or that powdered milk, man. Oh no, we don't.
No, we
Powdered
had the powdered milk, and listen.
powdered milk, powdered eggs.
Mm-mm. Or the Tang. Remember that orange stuff,
Oh
that
yeah,
Tang
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. Tang. Well, they just had the regular
Yeah.
Tang in the commercials.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we used to have so much bad stuff. Oh, those are the days, man. Listen. And then at one point we were getting, because we like it was like a little country, right? So we would get milk deliveries, like with the glass jars. We'd have all these milk crates stacked up. So yeah, yeah. Back in the day, reminisce. Sometimes you wish. Sometimes I got to stop thinking like that. But sometimes you wish, like, yo, what if we could go back there and know what we know now, and then we can move differently. But our journeys are what they are. You can't redo it. You just have to go forward from here and apply what you've learned and keep it pushing.
And I think a lot of the stuff that we went through back in the, I'm not gonna date myself, 80s, 90s, maybe even the 70s,
You
made
dated
us,
yourself a bunch of times already
made,
in this
hey,
conversation.
made us, but it made us more resilient. You know what I mean? I think me personally,
Absolutely,
I think it made us more
absolutely.
resilient because man, these kids nowadays, I'm like, man, all y'all do is just sit up in the room all day. Y'all don't.
Yo, but the memes and the reels on the kids these days, going from the 70s, 80s babies, the 90s babies, and then the new generation is hilarious. Like they get a little paper cut and they want to go to the emergency room. It's funny. Yeah, we are built different. Like I'm sitting there as a child, like under the car with my dad while he's changing oil. Like he was a blacksmith, so I lived that life. He did everything with his hands. The mechanic, what? He was the mechanic. He wanted a shed, he built it. I helped him, build it. So I was out there. I was actually a tomboy for a long time. I still am in my heart, y'all. I still am.
Yeah, I remember like we couldn't come in the house if it was daylight outside. We couldn't come in the house. The
Oh
adults
my
were in the
gosh.
house. We had to stay outside. So sitting on the game all day and playing, or just sitting in our room all day, man, that didn't cut it. Shoot, and then the cyberbullying. I don't get the cyberbullying stuff. I'm like, how does somebody bully you from anywhere in the country over this? They don't even know who you are. You don't know who they are. Like how? I don't know.
And you
There's
could
just
just hit the end button or the close
I
button or
just
whatever
block
button.
or end or delete. Or you got so many options to get rid of this person. Why you let this
No,
person? I don't get it.
you
But
are so right. But I didn't even think about we weren't allowed inside. We will no, when they say that, that's legit. I just was I don't know why I didn't put that together until somebody actually said it. We were outside from the time we woke up until it was time to eat dinner at night when it got dark. We had to because we had to be inside before it got dark, right? But I didn't realize it was because we weren't allowed in. It was just like a normal thing to be outside. I was busy in the wood. I was a loner, always have been my whole life. I have two younger twin brothers. They were together all the time, and my youngest sister. Those three were together all the time. I was the loner out in the woods doing stuff, turning over the wood so I can find salamanders and bugs or whatever, and bring them into the house and get yelled at because they done got out of the box, whatever. And then my older sister, she was always off with her friends, but it was because we weren't allowed back in the house. And it was always, and I remember when coming in, it's just like, what are you doing in here? I gotta go to the bathroom. All right, go to the bathroom, wash your hands, and get out, go out. It's like they didn't. Yo, that is so true. We were not allowed in the house. That's crazy.
no, 100% though. But I see those 4 minutes turn into another 30. You like one
Yo,
of the
because
people at
I'm
church.
looking,
You're like one of
I'm
the people at
looking.
church on Sunday talking about, all right, I'll talk to y'all later. See y'all next Sunday. And then you still talking to people on the way out. Next thing you know, the kids still waiting to eat lunch and stuff. And like 2 hours later, you still talking to people at church.
You funny, but I'm looking and I open my Zoom and it's like, oh, it's at this time, so it hasn't started because my butt got the time wrong because of the time change here. The time is different. So I'm not, it's not even right now. So I still have a half hour.
Sis, you know I'm gonna get on you right now. No, I'm kidding. No, no,
What?
no, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. You know what? No, no, no. Like it's funny how we brought up the past right now because I'm sitting here like, dude, the only time my grandmother, aka Mom bless her soul, wanted me in the house was like, okay, if she wanted to make sure I was good. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, yeah, oh my goodness. Boy, go outside. Nah, mom, I'm playing my Nintendo. Get out. Okay. So he made sure we got the hell out the house. You know what I'm saying? But every now and again, but she would make sure we always had a quarter on us because we had to call her. That was her thing. Like if you were outside, you had to call her, like every hour. So she'd give you like 6 or 7 quarters. I'm like, yo, make sure you call me every hour. Just make sure I know where you at. I'm like, oh, come on, mom. But it was good. You know what I'm saying? It toughened us up back then. It wasn't like half these kids now. It's just like, oh, you just sitting there in Starbucks on the internet, which you're sitting right in front of each other, but you're texting each other. Like, what the hell? Go ahead, go to the park and play. What the hell's
Yo,
wrong with y'all?
Ness, you hitting it on the head, Ness. Oh my God. I see people at these kids, they be at the restaurant and they be texting each other right across the table. And I'll be like, what the hell like, you guys are right in front of each other.
Okay,
Why?
but wait, I got one better. I got one for y'all real quick. Okay, I'm guilty of that, not sitting right across from each other unless you're just trying to be funny. But downstairs, downstairs in the living room, and then your brother or sister is upstairs, and you don't feel like getting up.
No, but see,
So
that's justifiable.
you
That's
said the
justifiable.
text
It's okay.
messages.
No, that's justifiable. If you're sitting right across from your friends and whatnot, I mean, like y'all can't just speak, like talk, bro. Like,
No,
why are
that's
you texting?
retarded. No, that's just
Right,
retarded to me.
right.
But here's the thing: you said quarters. I don't know nothing about that. That's
Oh,
a New York thing because we didn't have
yeah.
payphones over a millstone. Like, no, we
Well,
were
you
using
lucky
the
when you.
woods.
Well, you got lucky. I'm in the city. Like I ain't had no woods up here. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, I wish I was
You know,
in the woods. I'd have been
y'all
happy.
had smog to hold on to. Yes, you're
You
right.
ain't lying. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. But yo, no, the funniest thing in the world though, which L could attest to this, and anybody who's in New York can attest to this, you will still hear people yelling out their windows 24/7, 365. Boy, get your ass out that bar. Well, boy, girl, what you doing over there, girl? Like, why can't you just just your lazy ass outside? What the hell you doing? Like, seriously. And L could attest to this. Like, you see it all the time, bro. It's like, bro, like, don't you got a phone? Like, seriously?
That's just normal neighborhood noise.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like, you know what? That's the equivalent of the animals in the country. Like you hear the
That's a whole
birds,
fact.
you
That's a whole
hear
fact.
the cicadas, you hear all that. So y'all are just that background noise, y'all yelling out the windows and stuff. That's funny.
Yeah. But yo, thank you, OJ, for sharing so much today. Thank you, Creative. Thank every single one of you guys that spoke today and shared all your stories and adventures. We would love to hear Elle's little adventures. Because I mean, like she went from New York City all the way to Buffalo, back down here to New York City to live on Long Island. So we want to hear a little bit of your adventures, Elle. Yeah, that's right. You're the host, and we haven't heard your
I want to
adventures yet.
hear that, but why are you saying all the way? Y'all still in the same area.
Well, no. Buffalo is like
Y'all still in the
8,000 miles
same
away from me.
state though. Y'all funny. He's like
Oh no,
all the
no, no, no.
way.
Listen. You know how far Buffalo is? Listen, when I got released from prison, I was released in Buffalo, right? And I got to New York like sometime like I left there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get down here to like fucking pardon my French. I didn't get down here to like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Like, bruh, that's a long ass trip. All right,
That's
seriously.
because of the buses and stuff. If you had a car, it would have been shorter, no?
All right, that's a fact. I ain't gonna
Facts.
cap on that.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to bring my car, and I ain't have my license. You know what I'm saying? Because you get caught out there in New York State driving on a license, you screwed. I'm telling you that right now. They different. They different. But we gotta love them though. We gotta love them. But Al, we need to hear some stories. But before we get to you, whenever Benjamin gets on, we know he has some new sponsors for us. But Al, go ahead.
Yep, I know he's back just to drop those sponsors. I've been enjoying this. I mean, just sitting and listening. I wrote down a bunch of notes about Louisiana. I wrote down, I'm not getting a hand grenade with OAJ. I also put as a side note, I will not get a Philly cheesesteak with her because she will ruin it. I want to try hush puppies. I'd like to try Louisiana crawfish boil. And it's funny, the thing that caught my eye before, or I should say my ear, I don't know, was also the cup. Because in Vegas, like those big souvenir cups, I love it. I love to keep cups from everywhere I go. That's just something I enjoy. So I'm like, oh, okay, we could do this. But welcome back, Ben. How are you?
Hey, it's good to be back. Hopefully, you can hear me. I'm almost home, but I figured I'd come back. You do some real quick sponsors for everyone in the space. Ladies and gentlemen, about 20 minutes ago, I got off the phone with Fanatics, and Fanatics is the newest sponsor of the space. Folks, if you love sports and you love jerseys like I do, and you want to support your favorite team, you can definitely purchase your jerseys from Fanatics.com. Let's say you're a fan of the New York Yankees, right? And you're a big fan of Aaron Judge. You can definitely go to Fanatics and purchase your Aaron Judge jersey. In the same sense, if you're a big fan of Buffalo Bills and you want to support Josh Allen, well, definitely go to Fanatics and purchase your Buffalo Bills jersey there. What I do not recommend you do is go to Fanatics and purchase any of these jerseys. Do not, please, for our friendship, do not purchase anything from the Boston Celtics. Do not purchase anything from the San Francisco Giants. Do not purchase anything from those teams, please, for our friendship. We only support the teams that these the listeners here support, or the speakers and listeners here root for. And by me knowing Elle well enough, I know that she's a fan of the Bills and the Yankees, and therefore New York and Boston do not have the best terms of relationship wise, and they generally are rivalries. So we will not be supporting the Celtics or the Red Sox in this space. But with that being said, folks, we're going to do this for everyone here who loves to connect and chill. We all love to connect and chill. Is that true? We do. And with that, I'm going to hand this back to you, Elle.
Oh, Ben, it's so good to have you back. Thank you for the sponsorship. I love Fanatics, actually. Like, that is my go to. What? Go ahead, Ness. I see you on miking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Me and Ben don't have to talk real quick. Ben. You cannot be down on my 49ers. Cannot be down on my Mets, and he certainly cannot be down on my Boston Celtics. I'm a big Celtics fan. I've been a Celtics fan since like the old days with Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and all of them. I actually became a fan of theirs when I went to the game. Yeah. I know. Scary, right? But yeah, no, I'm a huge Celtics fan. I mean, like we do not support the New York Knicks, though. Yeah, no, we love them, but we don't support them. No, absolutely not. No, the Knicks are just as bad as the Mets, but I still love my Mets because my entire team sucks. I know, right? Absolutely. But back to you, sis. Damn, I just made Ben leave. What? Somebody leave? Oh crap. Okay, I don't know who left, but it's okay. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, OAJ, I guess, had to hop off. They're like, yo, girl, you coming for game night? What's happening? You lost me at I love the Mets. Like, what the heck? How did that happen? Were you in
Well,
Queens? Were you in Long Island? Oh,
I live in the Astoria, Queens, most of my life. Like seriously. So I was a Met fan. My grandmother, bless her soul, was a Yankee fan. You know what I'm saying? Her cousin played for the '69 Yankees back in the day. He ended up leaving after that and went to Kansas City, which we still don't like him to this day for that. But we love him. We love him. You know. But yeah, no, I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan. But I like the Yankees. Don't get me wrong. I like the Yankees. I will wear a Yankees jersey and a Yankees hat in honor of my grandmother because that was her team. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely always rock a Yankees jersey or hat. But the Mets, yes, I'm a Met fan. My entire team sucks. That's the acronym for Mets. If you guys didn't know that. So yeah, I love my Mets because even though they suck, I still love them. And back to you, Love.
And that's a true fan right there. Support them even when they suck. I don't do baseball only because I feel like if you're not there live, it's boring. It's boring for me to watch it on TV. I'm like, if you don't throw that damn ball, I'm gonna come throw it for you. But yeah, it's kind of boring to me. I think I have been to a live game. It's more, yeah, it's better there. Yeah. Otherwise I don't really do baseball, and I don't have a team anyway.
No, I agree with you. Like watching it on TV versus being there live, I'd rather be there live. Even though I don't drink anymore, I'd rather be there live just to enjoy like the atmosphere. Watching it on TV, I'll sit there and sleep. Like seriously, I'm not even capping. I will go straight to sleep because it's like watching paint dry. It's horrible. Don't watch it on TV, people. Watch it live. That's your best bet.
Yeah, honestly, baseball is best to watch live. But Ness, I'm gonna tell you right now, you would look extremely fabulous in a Lakers jersey. I'm just gonna be upfront with you, dude. Just toss the Celtics jersey away. Just wear that Lakers, please, dude. For everybody in here, and Elle's gonna agree with me. Elle, when she plays 2K, she even sports the Lakers. That just tells you how much the Lakers means to everyone in this space. So Ness, just come to the good side, man. Just join. Purple and gold would look so great on you, man.
I will only join the Lakers if it's a Magic Johnson jersey. Then I'll join because that man was a legend. I don't care what nobody says. That man was amazing. He was a legend.
Oh, for real, dude. It doesn't matter to me. Magic, let's go, bro. Just come join the Lakers. To me, see, L is agreeing with us. You would just look fabulous. And here, I'll make you a deal right now, Ness. You join the Lakers, and if you're willing to don a Magic Johnson jersey, I'll do this for you. For everyone in this space, I'll put on a Rondo Celtics jersey, so it'll be a fair trade.
I love it. Let's go.
Rondo. What about Kobe?
Definitely
Ooh,
Kobe. I will
Oh,
definitely wear
Kobe is
Kobe.
no
you
questions,
forget
no
about
Kobe.
Kobe?
questions asked. I
What?
mean,
Never forget about him. I will rock a Kobe jersey in a second, only because it's Kobe. That man was also a
Kobe.
legend. Bless his sweet soul. He was a legend.
Absolutely. But okay. Who is the leading 3-point champ now? Who is it? Why am I getting crickets? We don't know?
The,
Steph.
Yes, yes, yes. I love
who
it.
watches Golden State?
Babyface
Damian
assassin
Lillard.
Steph.
What happened?
I said the babyface assassin Steph Curry.
No doubt. Yes, I love watching him play. I do. I do. But so I have a question for y'all. So there is this question, debate. Okay, we'll call it a debate. About the MVP all-time greatest. Is it LeBron James, or as they call him, quote unquote, King James? Nah, I never call him that. But anyway, is it LeBron or MJ?
MJ all the way. MJ will always be the top GOAT.
Why?
LeBron James is a crybaby. I've known that dude since he was in high school.
But
Okay, crybaby.
why would Jordan be the GOAT though?
Are you kidding me? Jordan carried those Bulls on his back and then some. With Pippen, of course. With Pippen, we can't forget Pippen. We can't forget about the rest of the team. But
Okay, because
Jordan
I was
was
gonna
the
say he
GOAT.
didn't win until Pippen got there now.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact.
Okay, so
I can't doubt that. But no, that man he was a legend. I mean, like he
yeah, I
crossed over
mean,
Larry
so
Bird
Jordan
in
was
front of me,
great.
bro.
Jordan was great. Okay,
Yeah.
but by what metrics do you make him the GOAT?
Let's see here. Oof,
Is
oof.
it championships?
Let,
Is
let's
it
start.
points? Is it what?
The man had the points up there. He broke records left and right. But you know what made him the GOAT for me? Making that dunk from what was it? The free throw line, I think it was. Oof. That was just man. That created that whole jump man movement right there. Just bang. Oh my
When he
goodness.
dunked from the free throw line?
That I was a kid back then. You know what I'm saying? So
But you
that.
know he got that from Dr. J, right?
Oh, of course. Dr. J was. Hey,
So
listen.
he didn't even originate that.
No,
So
he
how
didn't originate it. But for me, growing up in that era, you know what I'm saying, and just watching this
OAJ,
man,
you
crazy.
started something here.
But go ahead,
Because
OJ.
Because
That's what I meant to. That's what I meant to do.
Cause see, this is when it comes to look, okay, look, I'm not cocky about a lot of things, but when it comes to knowing basketball and how to break it down and stuff like that, basketball is my shit. Just like mental health and stuff like that, that's your wheelhouse. When it comes to Al creating these nice connecting chill spaces, I can never tell her how to do it because she's an expert at that, right? Ben is an expert at sponsorship. When it comes to basketball, live, breathe, die, that's my shit. So. I'll say this though, Jordan was great. I would put him in my top five probably all time. But I would say I don't really look at the GOAT debate as far as one person. I don't believe that there can be one individual basketball player or one individual football player for that matter. One person over a team sport, right? Because they didn't play all the positions. So I do it by position, right? So point guard, Magic Johnson. Shooting guard, yeah, you could debate between Kobe and Mike. You can't go wrong with either one. Small forward, LeBron James, never seen nothing like him, right? Power forward, Tim Duncan. Center, I would say Shaq, but you could argue Kareem, you could argue Bill Russell, just depends. They all have legitimate cases depending on what you're looking at, right? For me, when people go, Mike is the greatest and he's the GOAT of all time because he won 6 championships. Well, Bill Russell won 11. So then what are we saying, right? And Bill Russell did it for a predominantly racist team in a racist city. And he was the first black head coach, the first player coach. The whole player coach term came from Bill Russell because he was a player and a coach at the same time, coaching a predominantly white team in a city where he couldn't even eat with his team. He had to, they had segregation. So, they had racism and all that kind of stuff. And the man was playing in Converse. They had no cushion in the shoe. So, that argument. But then if you say points, and you say Kareem got the all-time scoring points. Yeah, LeBron James got it now, but Kareem didn't have three-pointers. Kareem probably shot maybe like 10 three-pointers in his whole career. Now three-pointers are heavily prevalent. The physicality of the games went down, so you could say LeBron James was played in the softer era. So, it just yeah, I just hate the fact that when people do argue who the number one player of all time is, when they believe that there's a player or one player that could be over the entire sport, is the fact that they forget about saying Kobe. Like it's like Michael Jordan and this person, or Michael Jordan and LeBron, but it's not Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe because there's a lot of things that Kobe did that no other player has ever done, and there's a lot of things that Kobe does that's better than Mike because he studied Mike so well. So it's good barbershop talk though.
I love it. I feel like, and this is exactly what I wanted. I didn't know Creative had was a basketball connoisseur like he is. I feel like L should have a basketball space. Let's talk about it. Let's get that going and have Creative hosts and debate points with people. When I'm talking about the greatest of all time, I'm not talking about one person over a whole sport because that's just not a thing. It's a team thing. It's a team effort. It's what you have to contribute, right? But the dynamic players, the people who you're like, yo, when you think of basketball, who do you think of? MJ is gonna come up. He's gonna be in the conversation. Kobe's gonna be in the conversation. Kareem's gonna be in the conversation. Absolutely. So that's just what I meant. But there was a debate like, oh, LeBron is the best of all time over MJ, and I'm like, who? LeBron who? No, he doesn't come in my mind when best of all time. I don't know what it is about LeBron, and because I'm such an energy person, I'm such a vibes person. There's something about him I just can't get with. It's just something about him I can't. But Kobe and MJ, they had that same like cockiness, like I'm gonna do this, I'm good at this, this is gonna happen. That it was just that they had it, they knew it, and that was it. They knew what they was gonna do. They told you what they were gonna do, and they did it. Kobe over here calling how many points he was gonna have in a game. And it was a wrap. So was MJ. MJ did the same thing. So it's the, I don't know, it's the dynamic personality. It's the dynamic, and by no means was Kobe a lazy basketball player. He went out and he absolutely put all that work in. He didn't just show up to the games. No, he actually practiced and he pushed his teammates to do more and go further and do better. and what they thought they could do. So when we're talking about the GOAT, that's what I'm looking for. When I'm looking for to put my name behind, to endorse a player, yes, that would be those would be all the things that would make that title for me GOAT.
So when it comes to LeBron, right? I'll just put this out there. I'm not a LeBron fan. I support LeBron because he's on the Lakers, right? Kind of like when Karl Malone came to the Lakers, I supported him. But I've always been a huge critic of LeBron. I do have to put him in the GOAT conversation for these reasons. One is this man is still going year 21 plus, right? And just to keep your body up and never have that many injuries in your career, to still be going at this high level at 38, 39 years old. I know what my body felt like at 38, 39 years old. There's no way, regardless, of what's going on with me and how many trainers I got, that my body would still be able to withstand what is called for to be the man on the team, even when you have a younger superstar like Anthony Davis, and you're still leading the way in points, rebounds, all kind of stuff, right? So for him to still be playing at this elite level, I have to respect that. Two is LeBron has never really had any kind of controversy. You don't see him too much in the tabloids and stuff like that. The one ding you can have on him is when he made a decision and he came out and said, "We're not going to win not one, not two, not three." Okay, you can knock him for that. But on and off the court, the man has pretty much been um, spotless, right? His career has been spotless. I mean, the dude, not only not only if you look at his stats and where they land in each category as far as top 10 all time. His rebounds, steals, 3-point, even his 3-pointers, like he's up there. Like you'll be surprised to see on the 3-point list where he lands in like playoff 3-pointers and regular season 3-pointers, all time 3-pointers, because he doesn't really shoot it like that. But the man definitely should be in the GO conversation for those reasons, right? I have to give him that respect. And then the stuff that he does off the court as well, as far as his school and stuff like that, and all the business ventures and how he has been a champion for player empowerment as well. These players wouldn't be getting the money that they're getting without LeBron James. Without LeBron James, they wouldn't be able to do these one and done deals or these 2-year deals where they have a player option and stuff. He's really given the players a lot of empowerment as far as how they do their contract structures. So there's a lot of different things that he's contributed to the game, even though I can sit here and honestly be like, look, I'm not really a fan of his. My biggest knock on LeBron is that unlike Kobe and unlike Mike, when Mike left the game and when Kobe left the game, you know that they didn't have anything else to give, right? They gave everything and exhausted everything within their physical and human body to give you every ounce of whatever God gave them and maximize it. And I think LeBron just came in with his first 7 years and was just like, all right, I'm bigger than everybody, I'm more athletic than everybody, and didn't really work on his game. So I feel like he's going to walk away without ever being like, okay, I reached my maximum potential. I still feel like he left stuff on the table. So that's my biggest knock on him. Um, as far as Mike is concerned, Mike, yeah, he did those 3 Ps and stuff like that, but that whole flu game where he was actually drunk and hungover, and he had his private jet and all this other stuff, and he used to slap his teammates. A lot of people say Mike was an asshole, but I get it. They say Kobe was an asshole too. He called his teammates, Charmin soft and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you just can't knock who they were when it came between their work ethic and what they gave you on that floor, right? And they maximized their results. I think Kobe would have played a little bit longer, but he didn't have the right coach at the end of his career, and they played him too many minutes, and that's why he blew his Achilles, he blew his knee out, shoulder out, stuff like that. So, but yeah, we could definitely have a basketball space if El's willing to do it. I'm all for it.
You know what though? I think Kobe's talk to his teammates was more to motivate them, right? Because if you speak to someone like that, you call him Charmin, sometimes if they have that ego, it could rile them up, right? And it could force them to do better. Or try to prove you wrong, right? So I think that's why he was like that. MJ just didn't know how to handle it all. So, but I don't know. I love your take on, and not being a LeBron fan. I love your take. I love your openness. I love your being able to see it from multiple angles and be open and honest and fair about it. So I love that. And I think that's why it would be great to have a basketball space and have you co-host it. or host it, be the host of the freaking space. I don't know, because you have that knowledge, that well-rounded knowledge and that objective opinion about it. I don't know what it is back in the day when he started that I didn't like it, and so I just removed him from my forward brain. Like, you can only receive so many amounts pieces of energy a day. I removed him from all of it. I was not objective in his game at all. I did not care about him. So I love that you gave me that information. It opens my mind a little bit about LeBron, and I like that. But Black Mamba, he was doing big things after his around his death. He was doing some big things, putting some things together, um, that may have or may not have contributed to his passing. But yeah, he was doing good things. But yeah, we should have a space about that. What do you think about that, El?
Yeah, I'm totally down. We can make that next week's topic if you guys want to.
Woohoo!
Creative, you're more than welcome to co-host because you are the pro. I'll be completely honest, I don't know as much about basketball, but there was something you said that really resonated with me about GOATs. Like, for me, I consider Derek Jeter a GOAT, and he wasn't the best baseball player, but he was an amazing captain. He had the Yankee spirit. He stayed out of trouble. He was just such a positive force for the team. And so for me, he's the GOAT. But I love what you said about how people quantify it, because I know I always hear MJ, and a lot of the time LeBron gets kind of pushed to the side or people hate on him. And when you stick to the facts, if you're going by, like you said, 3-pointers or whatever it is, let's talk about that. But I love everything you're saying. You definitely know basketball. That's for damn sure.
Nah, I appreciate it. And then yeah, like you said, AJ, the Kobe stuff, man. Kobe, and after he retired, what a lot of people don't know is that he was actually going to leave Nike and start his own shoe company straight from the ground up, where he creates his own shoes, everything. And that's why his contract ended up expiring. But then once he passed away, then that's why Vanessa had to go in and renegotiate with them on getting the Mamba shoes out and keeping it with Nike, because it wasn't her vision. So how could she, champion something that wasn't her vision, right? And then with the children books he was doing, um, and there's a story about Kobe as far as like how quick he was able to learn stuff, right? So there was Rob Pelinka, so he was his agent, and Rob Pelinka was a part of the Fab Five and stuff like that from Michigan. And a lot of people don't know that. Like they
I
think
feel
about
like we
Chris.
should save this for the space.
All right, I'll pocket it. We'll talk about it in the space next week. I'll put it back in my
Yes,
pocket. I'll
yes,
put it back in
yes.
my pocket. But
Because
yeah, no,
Mamba he was working on some things, big
yeah, no,
things.
he was definitely working
Yes.
on some things, and thanks to Phil Jackson, because it was like the student was starting to be Yoda, right? And Phil Jackson was a big part of helping Kobe channel that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll pocket it for next week.
Yep, 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 yep. I
Yeah,
was like, yo,
it's
he
gonna be
about to
so
do
fun.
the old school.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome, creative. I have a question for you, creative. We're gonna get banner 18, right?
Oh yeah, we about to start today. The journey starts today. We about to get in Denver's ass today. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it because all right. So I know you guys are fans of basketball. I don't know how deep you guys watch it, but I look at like Jokic is supposed to be like the MVP for this year, right? He's like the front runner, right, for MVP. To me, I think the NBA is making him the Great White Hope, but that's just my opinion as far as like because when you look at Jokic, there's players that had better seasons than him this year, like SGA, Shea Alexander Gilchrist. Um, Say Gilchrist Alexander, my bad. But he plays for OKC, and they're the number one seed in the West, and he's played better. But they really want to push Jokic, and I really think they want to push the Europeans because it's a minority led league, right? So blacks and people of color have been the face of the league for so long. It's been since Larry Bird, and he shared the face of the league with Magic Johnson since they had like a white person really be like the face of the league. So Jokic, Luca, and stuff, they're really, really pushing those narratives. And I think it's unfair because there are other players that deserve it. Not saying that it has to be a black player, but there are other players that have had better seasons. And if you're going with metrics for the reason why Jokic got it the last couple of times, because Denver was like in the first place and stuff like that, they won a championship, this, that, and the other. So you got to be fair across the board. So I'm looking forward though, because Mike Malone been talking his shit, and I really want to kick Mike Malone in the face. So we need to go out here. We need to not play around. We need to get out here and get after it. So let's go Lakers, Laker Nation. You feel me? Purple and gold. Let's get it.
Exactly, bro. Banner 18, dude.
Okay. No more basketball talk, even though I started it.
Yeah, you did, OJ, because I was trying to get Elle to tell us her adventures. You just go straight to basketball, but that's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you.
But we are at the top of the hour, and Al, we do have some new official sponsors for this space. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Basketball Association is now a proud sponsor of this space. Once again, National Basketball Association is a proud sponsor of this space. So, folks, if you love basketball, NBA is definitely for you. So we super appreciate Adam Silver and his contribution to this space. Al, we also got off the phone with our newest sponsor of the space, AAA. AAA sponsor helps about 47 million Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're driving either on a highway or you're driving down a road and you do have a flat or you have a dead battery, AAA can definitely help you with that. Folks, we cannot end the space, and I'll hopefully end the space soon, but we do kind of like to do this in a lot of these different spaces. But since we all love to connect and chill, and we all love Keenan and Kel, we all know we all know that Kel loves his orange soda, right? Well, here we go. Who loves to connect and chill? We all love to connect and chill. Is that true? We do, we do, we do, we do, we do, we do. Ew. And with that, I'm going to hand this back to you, Elle.
All right, thanks, Ben. I know, I see everyone is so excited about basketball that it's like turning into the space. Well, I definitely don't want to reveal everything yet because I think you guys have lots of alpha from what's happening so far. So I think we'll do, since we are on the 2 hour mark now, is just kind of start wrapping up. There was a lot of great stories shared today, and some nuggets. Some of the things that really resonated with me was, try new things, don't live in the past, don't get caught up in overthinking, because you can do it if you don't overthink it, right? We saw the journey from Jersey to PA to Louisiana. Crazy, right? If you overthink that, definitely it's going to be too daunting and it's not going to happen. When you think about driving the truck with the car behind it, if you overthink it, you're not going to do it, especially when you can't see over the steering wheel. So I appreciate everything that you guys have shared today. The conversation has been awesome. I've learned a lot. I am excited about the thought of a July meetup in New York City. And I'd love to have everyone on the speaker panel, add in some maybe closing remarks or anything that you'd like to share before we wrap up today.
Yeah, I wasn't around when you guys were talking about the journey of moving, but I will say this. I think don't be afraid to take the next leap of faith and don't be afraid to see what is next for you. Be willing to open a new chapter in your life. And I don't know if I told you this out, but end of this year, I'm thinking about moving to Denver, and that's kind of my next journey and my next path. Because as much as I love California and this will always be home, and I'm born and raised here, they will always have a special place in my heart. I need to go someplace else. I need to take the next leap of faith and see what's out there for me. So, just be willing to see what's next for you. And the beauty of moving to places unknown or parts unknown is, one, you definitely get to meet new people. You definitely get to see what is out there, right? There's a lot of, I can't speak for everyone, but I think if you haven't had the opportunity to see a lot of the world, you definitely take that advantage now. Like if you can, right? Try to see what's out there. Try to see all the different parts of the world and try to see what's new. So that's kind of my recommendation. Definitely, if you go to Denver and Colorado, there's just one fast food place, and it's called Good Times. It's one of the best burger joints I've been to in my life, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. I recommend if you're ever in the Colorado area. Um, so that's kind of what some of my closing thoughts. And then Al, thanks so much for having me up. I wish I was around a little bit longer. Just today had some things to take care of, but glad to be here with you guys. Thanks so much for supporting Al and Ness. Thanks so much for being here. And then creative hosts, Tough Talks every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. PST. That one of the best spaces here on X. L's spaces are phenomenal as well. One of my favorite spaces is to Connect and Chill. So we have a lot of beautiful people here, and we have a lot of wonderful spaces. And then, yeah, with that, I'm gonna hand this back to you, El, but I'm gonna just one more time, just for everyone in the space, because we all love to connect and chill, right? Hopefully, you are willing to do this with me. Otherwise, we'll have El sing to close us out. And El, I know you would love to close us out. And Ness, I was talking to El. We may be doing a 24-hour stream in the near future, or 24-hour space in the near future. And we're gonna do it nonstop. So Ness, hopefully you can kind of help us with that. But with that, I'm gonna hand this back to you, El.
That was perfect, Ben. I know you had a busy Saturday morning over on the West Coast, but I appreciate you making it back to us and joining us for the tail ends because your energy is something that's so special and the space is not the same without it, for sure. We do have a new speaker, though, so I want to give them the opportunity to share before we close up. Merge, what's going on?
My mic is off. Yo, can you hear me? Jam. I so much appreciate, I really want to give so much thanks for the space. It's really a good opportunity coming up here, connecting with good mind people, nice individuals, and like, hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, so actually, before I continue, I'm not actually the founder of Mexi. I'm actually staff of Mexi, but we're actually at the moment we're at the building stage. Mexi, our plan is just to build a social marketplace where creators and collectors can come and interact and have a good market relation. But that's aside because I don't really want to talk much since we're on the building stage. But I just really want to give thanks to you, El. Your space is always wonderful. Mindset, the communication, things I hear about, they're are mind blowing. Our lessons we learn every day. So I just want to come up here and wish everybody happy weekend and best wishes in all what you do. Appreciate you all. Much love.
Oh, thank you so much, Merge. That was really nice. I appreciate you being here with us and coming up. This is exactly what we want to hear when we put these spaces together. So it is awesome to get to know you better. And you are more than welcome anytime to tell us about your journey and tap in. If you didn't already hear, next week we'll be discussing basketball. So if you're not familiar, do some research, look up what's happening. I'm going to do the same. And then we'll come back here and touch base about the ins and outs of basketball and what's happening. And it sounds like maybe a conspiracy theory or two to make it juicy because we need the tea, or at least I do. So for real, thank you. And now for more closing remarks, Naz, you want to go next or OAJ?
So I'll give one quick one, and this is for everyone. Yeah, I'm gonna take you back a little bit in time for some of you guys that may be young, or if not old. Mrs. Fizzle. Yeah, we're going to go Mrs. Fizzle in the Magic School Bus. Take chances, make mistakes, get messy. That's how we do things. That's how you grow. So, you know what I'm saying? Every now and again, if you got to take that chance, you know what I'm saying? Like my sister did, OJ, or even Al, or any of us have done, go for it. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing, really, if you don't do anything. So just take those risks, you know what I'm saying? But be careful and do and one last thing. I don't believe in the whole do your own research meta anymore. I do research together as a team. I want my team to be to be able to be a part of a team that does research together. Doing my own research, it only gets me so far. So if I have a team behind me, and if you have a team behind you, do your research together. That way, you're all secure and you're all just staying alert with one another, and you're sharing that experience and whatever information that you have. So this way, you can validate that shit. All right. But other than that, I'm gonna sign off in a few seconds. I gotta get ready to possibly do a stream in maybe a half hour or an hour from now. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. You'll see it on the timeline eventually. But anyway, thank you, Elle, for hosting a wonderful space as always. Thank you, OAK, for the lovely stories. With Elle, I'm a little disappointed because I didn't get to hear your story and journey, but that's okay. I still love you. Benjamin, thank you always as every week, each week, every week. Thank you for just bringing the laughs, making us smile, and just keeping us on our toes with all these wonderful sponsors that you bring to us. Holy crap. And thank you, Merge, for just jumping on stage. You know what I'm saying? And thanks to all the other guys who did hop on stage. Thank you guys in Listen Lounge as well. Every single one of you that stood here from beginning to end. And even if you just hopped in just to, hop in, that's cool. Thank you guys for just showing up and showing your support and love. We appreciate you. And if you didn't like retweet the space, I will probably ban you from coming. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to ban you. But anyway, you, OAJ, Sis, take it away.
Hello, everybody. One thing I want to say, I am on my Zoom now. It's live. If you can hear it, I don't know. But what I wanted to say is, Benjamin, whenever I decide to host a space, I know you are the go-to guy for the sponsors. I know that. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna hit him up. Hi, guys. Had to say hi to the team. I know who to hit up for that. So that's that aside. What I want to say, guys, is it doesn't matter what you want to do in life. It really doesn't. Just go and do it. Just take those steps. Take that first step to get it done. Break it down into little pieces if you need to. But always listen to that inner voice that you have. It will never, ever steer you wrong. You listen to that inner voice, you're going to get to where you're supposed to go. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. It's going to make you feel nervous. You're going to feel the fear, but your strength lies in feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Stepping outside of that comfort zone that you're used to and doing it anyway, because growth happens outside of your comfort zone, not in your comfort zone where you're in this little box doing the same thing. If you want something different in life, you have to do different things. So rely on yourself. You have everything that you need inside of you to make it to where you want to go, to connect those bridges, to build those bridges, to get to that end goal. And as a matter of fact, that big end goal that you want, that you're looking for, that you're striving to achieve, is going to be even bigger than you can imagine. Because if you get yourself into alignment and you take those aligned actions toward those goals that you're looking for, that you're looking to achieve, the universe will reward you times 10, as long as you are in alignment and you're actively seeking them. So with that said, I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your Saturday. My DMs are always open if you need encouragement. If you just need someone to listen or to read what you're saying, I am there and I'm happy to do it. So with that, I'm going to mute myself and you guys enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your night, wherever you are.
Oh, real quick, one more thing. Oh, AJ, if you ever need sponsors, like you said, I am more than happy to help you. Like I said, we only get sponsors in the trillions and billions of dollars ranges, and we don't skip out on that. So anytime you need me, I'm here for you, friend.
Beautiful. Awesome. I got you. Am I following you? Let me see. Hold on. Yep, I am. I got you. You're stuck with me now.
Yeah, she said it best. You're stuck with her now. And that's the end of that. L, wrap it up. Let's go.
That is awesome. That's what this is all about. Everyone, look around. If you're not already following each other, let's do that because there's awesome people in here. You know, a perfect example of things just working out is OAJ thought she couldn't even come here, right? And then she goes, I can only stay for an hour. I can only stay for 5 more minutes. And then look, she got to stay the whole space, share her incredible story that was literally perfect for the theme. And it just all worked out. So that's great. Sometimes you don't even overthink things and they just fall into place. I love to see it. I appreciate everyone today, whether you spoke, you listened, you dropped a comment, you just stopped in. All of you add into what this space is for. You know, I just come here, I started, and then see where you guys take this beautiful journey. And it means a lot to me that we keep doing this every Saturday. It's a big part of my weekend. So on that note, make sure you hydrate, take care of yourselves mentally and physically. Do something nice, go touch grass, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.